Hello and welcome to NK Learning Corner, your go-to channel for practical wisdom and effective problem-solving strategies. We're glad you're here. If you're new to our channel, we encourage you to hit the subscribe button and join our community of lifelong learners. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos. If you find our content useful or insightful, please feel free to comment and share our videos. Remember, knowledge is power, and it's meant to be shared. Today we'll be delving into a topic that's relevant to all of us: problem solving. Whether you're facing a challenge at work, at home, or anywhere else in life, we're here to help you navigate through it. So let's get started. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by a problem that seemed insurmountable, whether in your personal life or at work? We've all been there, and it's often a daunting task to handle. But before we jump into finding solutions, the first step is understanding the problem. Let's start by defining the problem clearly. This might sound basic, but it's crucial. Picture this: you're trying to assemble a jigsaw puzzle. But if you don't know what the finished picture is supposed to look like, it's going to be a lot harder, right? The same applies to problems. A clear understanding of what the problem is, its roots, and its potential impact can set the stage for effectively addressing it. Once you've defined the problem, ask yourself, is this really a problem? Sometimes what we perceive as a problem is merely a symptom of a deeper issue, or perhaps even a misunderstanding. It could be a difference in perspective, a miscommunication, or an unmet expectation. So, it's essential to take a step back, reassess, and confirm that what you're dealing with is indeed a problem. Next, we need to ask, what else is the problem? Problems rarely exist in isolation. They're often part of a larger picture, interconnected with other issues. Understanding the broader context can help you see patterns, identify root causes, and avoid dealing with just the symptoms while ignoring the actual problem. Finally, try to understand how the problem occurred. Was it a sudden event or a gradual process that escalated over time? Could it have been prevented? Understanding the genesis of a problem can provide valuable insights into its solution. In essence, understanding the problem isn't just about identifying what's wrong. It's about digging deeper, peeling back the layers, and exposing the root causes. It's about gaining a comprehensive understanding that will guide you towards effective solutions. Remember, a well-defined problem often contains its own solution within it, and that solution is usually quite obvious and straightforward. So, before you rush into action, take the time to understand. This is your first step towards effective problem solving. Scene script. Once you've defined your problem, the next step is to brainstorm possible solutions. But how do you do that? Well, let's dive right into it. To generate possible solutions, it's important to first free your mind of any constraints. Remember, there are no bad ideas in this stage. The more ideas you have, the better. So think outside the box and allow yourself to consider even the most unconventional solutions. It's about quantity over quality at this point. Now you may wonder, how do I think outside the box? It's simple. Look at your problem from different angles. Don't limit yourself to the usual methods and practices. Instead, challenge the status quo. Ask yourself, what if I did things differently? You might be surprised at the innovative solutions that this approach can yield. Another effective technique is to invite input from others. You see, everyone brings a unique perspective to the table. That's why it's crucial to involve different people in your brainstorming session. They might suggest solutions that you hadn't considered. Inviting input from others is not about delegating the task of problem solving, but about enriching the pool of ideas. Next, consider all options without judgment. This is the stage where you explore the feasibility of each solution. Assess the pros and cons. What are the potential outcomes of each option? What resources would they require? What challenges might arise? Be sure to take your time with this step. It's not about rushing to a conclusion, but about making an informed decision. Remember, problem solving is a journey, not a race. It requires patience, creativity, and an open mind. So don't be too hard on yourself if you don't find the perfect solution right away. Instead, focus on creating a diverse pool of ideas. The more solutions you have, the higher your chances of finding the one that works best for your situation. Brainstorming is not about finding the perfect solution right away, but about creating a pool of ideas from which the best solution can be identified. So, keep brainstorming and remember, every idea counts. You've defined your problem and brainstormed possible solutions. Now, how do you choose the best one? Well, it's time to roll up your sleeves and dive into the nitty-gritty of evaluation. This is where you weigh the pros and cons of each solution, looking at them through the lens of feasibility, cost-effectiveness, and potential impact. Start with feasibility. Ask yourself, can this solution be implemented practically? Do you have the resources, time, and manpower to see it through? If the answer is no, then it might not be the best choice. Next, consider cost-effectiveness. This doesn't just refer to monetary costs, though those are certainly important. It also includes time, effort, and any potential risks involved. A solution that requires a hefty investment of resources but yields only marginal improvements might not be as cost-effective as one that requires less but delivers more. Then there's potential impact. Does the solution effectively address the problem? Will it bring about positive changes? It's vital to consider both the short-term and long-term effects of the solution. A quick fix might seem appealing, but if it doesn't address the root cause of the problem, you might find yourself back at square one before long. But remember, the best solution isn't always the most obvious or the easiest. It may require thinking outside the box, challenging conventional wisdom, or even taking a leap of faith. It's a balancing act, one that requires careful thought and consideration. Also, bear in mind that it's okay if your chosen solution isn't perfect. Very few things in life ever are. What matters is that it's the best one available to you at this time, given your current circumstances and resources. Lastly, don't forget to include your team in the decision-making process if you're in a work environment. Their insights and perspectives could prove invaluable in choosing the best solution. Choosing the best solution may not always be easy, but with a well-thought-out evaluation, you'll be able to make an informed decision. You've chosen the best solution. Now what? Well, it's time to make a decision and take action. Choosing a solution is only half the battle. The real challenge lies in making the tough call and setting a measure to evaluate the effectiveness of your decision. The first step to making a decision is to believe in your chosen solution. Trust that you've done your due diligence in researching all possible outcomes. Confidence in your decision will provide the motivation and momentum you need to take action. Once you've made your decision, it's time to set a plan into motion. This involves laying out a clear and detailed action plan. Who is responsible for what? What steps need to be taken? When do these steps need to be completed by? These are all questions that need to be addressed in your action plan. Remember, the key to a successful action plan is flexibility. Be prepared for unexpected roadblocks or changes in circumstances. A flexible plan will allow you to adapt and overcome any challenges that come your way. Now let's talk about setting a measure for your decision. The purpose of this measure is to evaluate whether your chosen solution is effective or not. It's like a yardstick to assess the success or failure of your decision. It's crucial to set this measure at the outset, so you have a clear benchmark to compare your results against. Setting a measure can be as simple as defining what success looks like for your problem. It could be a specific target or goal, such as increasing sales by 10%, or a more subjective measure, like improving team morale. The important thing is that your measure is clear, realistic, and directly related to your problem. Finally, remember to review your measure regularly. This will allow you to track progress, identify any issues early on, and make necessary adjustments to your action plan. Making a decision is just the beginning. The real work begins in implementing the solution and measuring its effectiveness to ensure your problem is truly solved. So, take that leap, make your decision, and set your measure. Your journey to problem-solving success starts here. Now that we've walked through the steps of effective problem-solving, let's summarize what we've learned. We started by understanding the problem. This is a crucial step that requires us to take the time to define the problem clearly. We've learned that asking ourselves, "Is this really a problem?" can help us distinguish between actual problems and mere inconveniences. We also delved into the importance of asking, "What else is the problem?" to uncover any underlying issues that may be contributing to the problem. Next, we moved on to identifying possible solutions. This is where creativity and open-mindedness come into play. We encouraged brainstorming a variety of solutions without judgment. The more solutions we have, the better our chances of finding the most effective one. Once we had our list of possible solutions, we looked at how to choose the best solution at this time. We learned to evaluate each solution based on its feasibility, effectiveness, and the resources it requires. Remember, the best solution isn't always the most obvious one. Then, we talked about making a decision. This is where courage and decisiveness are crucial. We learned that sometimes there's no perfect solution, and we just have to make the best decision we can with the information we have. Finally, we discussed setting a measure for the decision. This step ensures that we can gauge the effectiveness of our solution. We asked ourselves, how will we know that it actually worked? By setting clear and measurable goals, we can track our progress and adjust our approach if necessary. In conclusion, these steps provide a roadmap to effective problem solving, whether you're tackling personal dilemmas or workplace challenges. But remember, the journey doesn't end here. Each problem you encounter is an opportunity to practice these steps and refine your problem-solving skills. Remember, effective problem solving is a skill that can be learned and improved over time. The key is to stay patient, open-minded, and persistent. Happy problem solving!